So we're going to continue. This is the third video for your domain and range notes in your interactive notebook, page 34. So we have gotten as far as doing some of these continuous graphs. So we left off on the middle graph in the middle of the foldable. So we were on this graph that looked like this. And so we were at the point of saying that the domain is going to be all real numbers when we got cut off. So let's go do the last two pictures of this section. So this one is mostly already labeled. We're just going to go ahead and fill in. So this next picture we have right here, we have a picture of something. Notice that this is an open circle at this end and a closed circle at this end. So this graph does end. So we have an open circle. So the domain actually goes from right here, which is open circle, all the way to here, which is closed circle. So remember, these are x values. So that is, if we set up an inequality for our domain is going to be our x values. So they go from -3, way over here. That's open circle, so -3. We have an open circle, so that is just going to be strictly the x's that are greater than -3. So that is -3 is less than x. And then we go all the way over to here, which is +1. And that's going to be a closed circle. So that's going to be less than or equal to +1. So our domain is going to be -3 is less than x is less than or equal to +1. Our range, we have a picture on the side here. So our range is going to go from the bottom down here, a closed circle, all the way up into hitting this spot up here. Now we have an open circle, so they're telling us it actually doesn't touch it. It must go right below it, which that picture looks like it touches it, but we're going to take their word for it since they put this over here. So if we're going by their range, it starts down at -4. This is our range, starts down at -4, and these are y values we're talking about. So less than or equal to, because we have closed circle, y, open circle at the top, less than or equal to 0. So our range is -4 is less than or equal to y, which is less than 0. Now, if I look at this spot right here, I might argue that this should be a or equal to, but I'm going to follow their picture. Okay, let's take a look at the last picture. So if we look at our domain is right here. We have closed circle, goes all the way forever this way, because this graph appears as though it goes down forever and to the right forever. So that would make our domain be all our x's that are greater or equal to -5. And it would make our y's so our y's are going to be starting here, going all the way down forever. So that's going to be our range is going to be our y's have to be less than or equal to +5, because it starts up here at +5 and then it keeps going down and it continues to go down forever and ever. So it's everything that's less than or equal to +5. Okay, let's go to a mapping. Super easy. The inputs are the domain, so all of these are our domains and all of these are our ranges. Simple as that. So we can just go ahead and list these out. So our domain is going to be a set -9, -5, sorry about that, 9, 1, and 7. And our ranges are just going to list these 1, 4, 5, and 8. Simple as that. Easy peasy. Okay, let's do the last one, which is a sentence. So we have a sentence. So it says, first try to create a table of values. All possible input values that can be put in the left side of the table are going to be your domain, and then all possible outputs on the right side are going to be your range. So we're going to find the domain and range of this situation. So it says Hunter is shopping for pencils. He has $5 in his allowance, and he finds the pencils he wants, and they cost 65 cents each. So making a table of values, our input here is the number of pencils. So number of pencils that he buys. And our output is going to be our cost, right? I'm going to skip the process column because we don't need to come up with a rule. We just need to think about what numbers can be put in. So we're talking about buying pencils. So does it make sense to have negative pencils or fractional pencils? Can we have half pencils or 0.25 pencils? That doesn't make sense to buy pencils. Now it is possible to buy 0 pencils, and then the cost would be 0, right? It's also possible to buy 1 pencil, and then our cost would be 0.65, right? It's possible to buy 2 pencils, and then our cost would be $1.30, right? Now, could we keep going with numbers forever? The answer to that is no, because he only has $5. So you're going to have to continue your table all the way up until, remembering, you can't go over $5. So we can't go over. We can't go over $5 because that's all he has, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and finish your table until you get as high as you can go without going over $5. And then when you're done with that, you're simply going to list your domain. And that's going to be all the numbers coming down the left-hand side of your table, right? And then your range is going to be all the numbers you get without passing up $5 on the right-hand side of your table. So I'm going to go ahead and let you finish that one by yourself. When you're done, go ahead and list your domain and range. And then this is going to be folded and glued on page 34. On page 34 of your notebook. And then you're going to work on the practice half sheet. You can also work on the Desmos activity. Okay, the end.